Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises unto YAHAWAH, Simeon, Shalom to the priests, prophets, and elders in this truth, pushing this word out sincerely and truthfully for YAHAWAH, YAHAWASH, as well as Shalom to the brothers and sisters in this truth, man, that are in this truth sincerely. That said, Shalom. This is Rayabya. I don't want to go into this topic dealing with Esau, the so-called white man, not being the original caveman. All right, and with that, I'm gonna prove it, based off the scriptures. All right. Now, with that said, let me go ahead and delve into this further through the scriptures. This is Genesis chapter 14. I'm gonna skip to the point, verse 6. And the Horites in their Mount Seir unto Elaparan, which is by the wilderness. All right. So the Horites, all right. Actually, you know what? With that, let me go ahead and get the compact Zondervan Bible Dictionary. All right. And I want to get this part of it. All right. Dealing with the Horite. Horite, a people found in Mount Seir as early as the time of Abraham, just like we're reading just like I read in Genesis 14 and 6 during the time of Abraham. All right, this is Mount Seir, where Esau would eventually dwell in. All right, a people found in Mount Seir as early as the time of Abraham. Now we got to remember, fast forwarding to Israel, when Jacob and Esau were born. That was when Esau is the progenitor of the Edomites, all right, which is the so-called white people, all right? So dealing with that, man, we know that during this time, during this time of Abraham, like I'm gonna read it again, a people found in the Mount Seir as early as the time of Abraham. Now we know that Abraham, this predates that by several different generations, all right, of Esau even being born or even being thought of. All right, so right there was already a nation of people before the Edomites, the so-called white people, dwelling in caves. All right, dwelling in Mount Seir as early as the time of Abraham, and conquered by Chedorlaomer and his allies. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, and you can go into Genesis, the 14th chapter, and you'll understand that conquest that Elamite king made. And it says, the early inhabitants before the Edomites disposed them and intermarried with them. Genesis 36, 20 through 30. All right, and I'm gonna get that. Esau married the daughter of their chieftains, also called Hivite. All right. The Hivite are thought to be identical with, or else confused with the Horites, in which case the Horites lived as north as Gibeon and Shechem in the time of Jacob's sons, till the conquer under Joshua. The LX makes this identification, which is, I believe, the Greek Septuagint. All right, so you know what I'm saying, there you have it right there. You know what I'm saying, the compact Bible Dictionary. Now I'm gonna make another point dealing with the Hivites, right? Because that's a Canaanite nation. The Horites are a nation, or a Canaanite nation. All right, this is Hivite. This is what it says for the Hivites. One of the 7 nations of Canaan conquered by Joshua, often mentioned in the Old Testament. All right, last referred to when Solomon raised a levy from the remnants to do tasks for him. And that's in 2 Chronicles 8 and 7. Some scholars think they may be the same as the Horites, and most likely they are. If not, they're not. If they're not to be the exact same people, then most likely they're very related to him, which will make them Canaanites, which descend from him. And we know that they don't descend from Shem, who descend from Ham. All right, and Ham is who? The progenitor of the so-called African race. All right, that the different nations that sprung out from him. All right, which Canaan was one of his sons, and Canaan, so that would make him related to the Africans. All right, so that's in so-called, in lamest terms for that matter, so-called African nation was in the caves before Esau. They were dwelling in Mount Seir before Esau, the Canaanites, dealing with the Horites. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and pull out definition. All right. In the concordance, in the Bible, in the so-called blue letter, the concordance. All right. Let me pull this out real quick. Let me go to Horites. Strong's definition of the Horites. Strong's concordance. All right. And it says, cave dweller, the inhabitant of Mount Seir, the inhabitants of Edom in later times. So even when you go into the concordance, the Strong's concordance, Strong's H 2752, Kori or Kara, I believe. Korah, or, you know what I'm saying? Salaki. I'm not great with the Hebrew, but yeah, the Horite, cave dweller, the inhabitants of Mount Seir, the original inhabitants of Mount Seir. All right, the inhabitants of Edom in later times. So it's telling you right there. You know what I'm saying? Edom didn't come until later. They didn't become the original inhabitants till later on. That's through this definition and through the precepts. All right. Now let me go ahead and go into Genesis, the 36th chapter. All right. It's Genesis chapter 36, verse 1. This is when this is when Esau started to marry into the Horites, all right, which they ended up taking over Mount Seir, all right. Genesis chapter 36, verse 1. Now these are the generations of Esau, who was Edom. Verse 2. Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Adah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, all right, and Ahalabamah, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite. All right, and remember, a lot of scholars believe that they're that those are that they're either related, or the scholars believe that they are the same as the Horites, which make them Canaanites. All right, so you know, just giving you the context and reference point right there. All right, now I'm gonna skip down to verse 6. And Esau took his wives and his daughters and all the persons of his house and his cattle and all his beasts and all his substance which he had got in the land of Canaan, and went into the country of the face of his brother, from the face of his brother Jacob. All right, so this is when he left our forefather, you know what I'm saying, left and, you know, did his own thing, you know what I'm saying. These are the names of the sons. So I'm gonna skip all the way down, you know what I'm saying, because this is just talking about all the different sons that it names off, and I'm gonna skip all the way down to 19. You know, Genesis chapter 36, verse 19. These are the sons of Esau, who was Edom. These are their dukes. All right, so that's talking about all the different dukes. All right, going all the way from was it verse 10? No, verse 9 all the way down, all right, to verse 20. So I'm going to skip down to verse 20. These are the sons of Seir the Horite, all right, Mount Seir, sons of Seir the Horite, who inhabited the land. Lotan, you know what I'm saying, and Seir being, you know, the progenitor, you know, who is progenitor of the Horites, who inhabited the land. Lotan, Shabal, Zibeon, and Anah, and Dishan, and Ezer, Dishan. These are the dukes of the Horites, the children of Seir in the land of Edom. All right, so because eventually the land of Edom in Mount Seir would be, you know what I'm saying, that whole land would be occupied by Edom. All right, and the children of Lotan were Hori, and Lotan's sister was Timnah. So I'm gonna skip down, you know what I'm saying, because it goes all the way into the different names. All right, and I want to get to the point. Verse 28, verse 29, you know what I'm saying? These are the dukes. Slakia, these are, I'm skip all the way down to verse 29. You know, because this is who Esau married into. Genesis 36 and 29. These are the dukes that came of the Horites, Duke Latan and Duke Shabal and Zibeon and Anah. all right, Duke Zebulon and Duke Anah. So these are the ones that Esau married into, and they ended up taking over that land, taking over Mount Seir, you know, and creating the land of Edom. All right. Verse 30, Duke Dishon, Duke Ezer, Duke Dishon. These are the dukes that came of Hori. You know, verse 30, Salak, I'll just reread that. Genesis 36 and 30, Duke Dishon, Duke Ezer, Duke Dishon. These are the dukes that came of Hori among their dukes in the land of Seir. Verse 31, these are the kings that reigned in the land of Edom before there reigned any king over the children of Israel. So, you know, Esau ended up marrying into the Horites in the different, you know, Canaanite nations. They ended up taking over that particular land. All right. So this is what happened. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just want to give brothers and sisters some edification, man, and let brothers and sisters know this is what happened during this time, and, you know, allow people to understand, you know, that Esau wasn't the original caveman. It was originally owned by the Canaanites, okay? So with that said, man, hopefully brothers and sisters was edified. This is Rayabya Bangah. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there in the truth, sincerely and truthfully. That's in this thing sincerely. That said, shalom.